Yo guys, it's Kyle coming at you from Bane's Film Reviews. In 2019, Bong Joon-ho directed Parasite, a film that took the world by storm, was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, won 4 of them, one of them being Best Feature Film. And it was a film that commented heavily on social classes and politics, and it was a really interesting take on the world. It was original. It was, in just about every way, a phenomenal film, and I adored that film. So, when I heard that Bong Joon-ho was directing Mickey 17 with Robert Pattinson, I was thrilled. He is a wonderful director, a wonderful writer, and he adapted this story into a feature-length film that just floored me. Robert Pattinson, an actor that really got the shit end of the stick for a long time, acting in the Twilight Saga. People assumed, including myself, that he was just a horrible actor, and I'm so happy that he got a second chance. He is wonderful. He is just a stellar actor. We saw that in The Batman a couple of years ago now. It's been so long. A couple of years ago now that he played the Batman and Bruce Wayne. And while I had some gripes about that film, it was very clear that he was a wonderful actor. We saw it again, well, prior to that, in The Lighthouse, where he was just spectacular. So, Mickey 17 is his most recent opportunity to showcase his talents and just enthrall the world in everything that he has to offer. He's spectacular once again. He plays not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 18 different characters. All the same character, but unique versions of this character. He takes on 18 different personas, and he's wonderful with nuances that separate each one from each of the priors. He's just wonderful. There are very few actors that could perform to this degree, that have this caliber of prowess, and Pattinson is just spectacular. I can't say enough good things about him, and I hope that he understands that the world is now on his side, and they're not praying for his downfall like they were when he was in that absolute atrocity of a science fiction saga. And then we have Bong Joon-ho, who is an auteur in his own right, is just a force to be reckoned with, is in many ways the perfect director. We have seen absolutely spectacular directorial performances in the past couple of years, particularly in 2014, where we saw absolutely stunning films. And Bong Joon-ho finds ways to just disrupt this world of cinema and continue to develop films like this, like Mickey 17. He is at the helm of a film that is absolutely brilliant. A film that, again, touches very heavily on social constructs and the social classes and politics and just about everything that we deal with. He's wonderful. He's subtle, but he's very direct. He finds a wonderful balance of subtlety and absolute, I can't even think of the right word for this, but just being in your face and telling you everything that's both wrong with the world and everything that is wonderful with the world and humankind. He develops an absolutely spectacular set design, a wonderful score, and helps and employs a group of talents that develop a CGI that is just astounding. In the world of Avatar and the MCU, he has employed a level of CGI that is unprecedented, and I absolutely adore everything that he's done with this film, specifically in that regard. He is wonderful. And everything about this film is wonderful. It is not a perfect film. I may be overstepping when I say that everything about this film is wonderful, but I am floored, and I'm almost living a high right now since I've just stepped out of the theater. Everything that you saw in the previews exists in the first 20 minutes. Then there is this sort of intentional lull that takes place for the next 2 hours. And somehow it works. It's boring. It will not work for everyone. I don't anticipate that it will, but it's very slow. It's very boring. It's droning, and not a lot happens, and yet so much happens, and it's amazing. I found myself checking my watch, but I also found myself going, this is just a perfect representation of the world that we live in. It's harrowing, it's slow, it's heavy, it's absolutely everything that we're experiencing on a day-to-day basis. In all of the issues, in all of the discrepancies of this film, there is perfection. And I think that Mickey 17 has the potential to finish out this year as one of the best. I anticipate, and I say this reluctantly, because the films that I always find to be the most enjoyable rarely make it to the big stage in March of the following year. But I anticipate that this film receives a ton of credits, a ton of notoriety, and I expect that we see something similar to what we saw with Parasite, where we see a handful, if not more, of nominations for the Academy Awards in 2026. Does it win everything? Probably not. But I would not be in the least bit surprised if Robert Pattinson is nominated for Best Actor, if Mark Ruffalo or Steven Yeun are nominated for Best Supporting Actor, or Toni Collette is nominated for Best Supporting Actress, or we see it nominated for Best Editing, or Best Original Score, or Best Adapted Screenplay, or Best Picture altogether. This film is wonderful, and part of me chalks this up to, I haven't been to the theater in exactly 1 month. I was here on February 13th to see Captain America: Brave New World, which I loved, and it's been exactly 1 month, and I almost wanted to cry when I sat down in the theater for the first time in an entire month, because this experience is unparalleled. It's fantastic, and if you don't get to the theater very often, I implore you to do it more often. Mickey 17 is brilliant, and while I don't think it will be my favorite film by the end of the year, I think it has the potential to be considered the best film by the end of 2025. With that, I have to be as objective as possible, and again, with it will not be my favorite. I'm sure of that. Mickey 17 is legitimately a 9 out of 10. It is very close to perfect. It's a spectacular film that blends genres. It's amazingly funny, perfectly dramatic, and just incorporates science fiction elements very heavily in a way that will be respected, but is a little bit outlandish at the same time. Bong Joon-ho is a brilliant director, a brilliant filmmaker, and Robert Pattinson is just a spectacular actor that deserves more recognition than he's gotten in the past few decades. So again, Mickey 17 is an amazing film that I give a 9 out of 10. Please go see this film. It's not doing very well, but it's a wonderfully original idea that I think everyone needs to see. So as I'm running out of time, this being the longest recording I've made in a very long time, please go see Mickey 17. Please promote this film. Please give it money. And until next time, peace.